Mm. Hey guys, welcome to the Side Talk live stream with your host, Captain Naga. Why am I so excited for today? Because Canada has legalized cannabis. They have legalized cannabis. In Canada, for those of us in America, is not a state. It's not just California. It's not just Colorado. It's a whole country. A whole country has legalized cannabis. So, for the first part of this journey, well, what I mean by that is this: play some music, let the room get a little filled up a bit. Now I'm gonna have my first tote of the day, and we're gonna just tie on cannabis. On cannabis, I got an article ready for y'all on Canada and what's going on in there, so we can all stay up to date on what's going on. Before I start, this Side Talk does not promote the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you do with your body is what you do with your body. I'm not influencing you and telling you to go out and do anything for educational and celebrational purposes right now, because this is legalized. First tote, it's always the best. And this is my first tote of the day. This is for Canada. This is for Canada. Canada. Eh? It's for Canada, eh? Are y'all racist? I'm gonna let the room get a little filled up. Just enjoy the vibes, enjoy the peace. Hopefully y'all are having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time this is coming at you. Take this energy now that we all in the same boat. We can start the conversation. For Canada. Shout outs to Side Substance. I know his video about to come out soon. He lives in Canada, so I know that video is about to embark. There it is. Put that screen back up. But it's a beautiful day as well as here over here in California. Usually, not a cloud in the sky. Not a cloud in the sky. Alright, song almost over. About to hop into what I want to get in for today when it comes to legalization, cannabis. Because remember, I'm just start talking. Remember what happened. Remember what it is when it comes to legalization. That means that something was illegal. And this plant, this thing that grows out of the ground, cannabis, was illegal in Canada for the past 95 years. 95 years it's been under prohibition. Now, it was readily available if you had a medical license or things like that. But we see how that played off in America, where because it wasn't legalized, it was still a huge underground, still is an underground market still going on. There's going to be some underground stuff, but it was still a huge people getting locked up for it. People was getting locked. That's the thing. The incarceration rate did not go down. People were still getting locked up and everything for a plant, and people were still going through all these crazy things over a plant. That's why the steps is acknowledgement, studies, decriminalization, and then legalization. And the thing about Canada compared to little old America is that, like I said before, it's just little states in here that are legalized. So if you travel across the borders, some imaginary line that says you're now in another state, you're getting arrested. You're just gonna go to jail. But Canada is the whole country. That's like saying our federal, like, just to break it down for y'all, in America, each state has its own laws and stuff, but it's also governed by the laws of the whole country. It makes sense, right? So the FDA and everything still has marijuana legalized, scheduled 1 drug, which means no medical violence, all of that stuff, all of that nasty stuff. Until that change, they still raiding and everything. They still can do random raids, even if I'm about to say recreational centers, but pot stores, even if they papers is legit and stuff, they'll find some kind of messed up reason. But shout outs to Canada, because that means the government acknowledges, like the highest form of government in Canada acknowledges that this is not going to destroy people, and that they need to stop locking up people for this. All of the things that we always tie about in here, because it's just a plant. And when it comes to cancer, when it gets to the real deep things, when it comes to curing cancer, like the Rick Simpson's oil, the high concentrations of oil, that really is helping people with PTSD, helping people that are depressed, that's feeling depressed. It's a whole lot of things that cannabis is helping people with. And I'm so happy that Canada legalized this stuff, that legalized cannabis. I'm gonna keep saying that a million times this show. And y'all know that on the side talk, I love pushing out the message. I love starting the conversation when it comes to psychedelics. Because remember, cannabis is a psychedelic. Cannabis is a psychedelic. We just smoke it so it's not flooding our system as much. But you know how you feel as though time is slowing down and your depression alleviates and you got like a new lease on life you feel when you're smoking and stuff? That's a psychedelic. And if you really ingest it, like when you get into the ingesting fields and stuff, edibles, I said ingesting fields, but when you get into edibles and that of the kind, because of the way it breaks, your body breaks it down slowly, and your 5-metabolite, I believe, something like that, breaks it down so that it lasts for about 4 hours, and all that THC and everything is. So we're gonna get into this because cannabis has more chemicals in it than the THC. It's not just the THC that the THC is one of the psychoactive chemicals that we found in there, but it's also a mess of chemicals, CBDs and THCAs and all this other cool, amazing things that is in that plant. But what was I tying on? Hey, thanks for tuning in, one person. But when it comes to, what was I saying? Cannabis treatment and depression. Yeah, it is a psychedelic because when it's ingested in edible form at high enough doses, people literally, like Joe Rogan said, he wanted to talk to the dolphins. And and shout outs to Booker over there in True Life. He was saying how he just ate these little tiny stars and he was able to see gears and stuff like that, the gears of the universe, like people see when they tripping. And I remember my girlfriend, when she first was getting into marijuana, during her first like edible stuff, she was saying, I see 3D. I'm seeing more 3D than the regular 3D. I can't explain it, but wow. So, yo, don't be fooled. I mean, it's not about being fooled. It's just letting y'all know, letting y'all Tai'ers know that cannabis is a psychedelic. So, for it to be legalized, that is an awesome step in the right direction. For all the other awesome plant medicines like psilocybin-containing mushrooms, lysergic acid dimethylide, LSD, and dimethyltryptamine, DMT. It all plays out together in the big run. It all plays out for me in the big run. But cannabis is the first step because that's what our culture has adapted to in the mainstream. Like no, it's never in the mainstream. That's when it really is attaching to the minds, because we all are creating this reality all together simultaneously. So whatever's popular is whatever's popular is what I would say the most people have on their conscious thought. So if it's gonna take cannabis, if it's gonna take for cannabis to get out there first, thank you Mary Jane, to put her life on the line and everything, to see to wake people up, or just to heal people, not even wake people up, but to heal people so that they can be ready for the future. Hey, kudos to Canada for legalizing marijuana again. I'm just happy because I know millions of people are Like, I already know they lined up out of in front of the stores and everything already. They like, I don't have to risk my life going on the corner. Risk my life going on the corner to buy a plant. Like, we buy plants from Home Depot and herbs from herb store stuff all the time. Like healing medicines and stuff like that when it comes to other genres of plant medicines. But man, the hearts of people are really going to be healed. A lot of relaxation is going to be felt. A lot of pressure is going to be lost. So people are going to be able to be more creative, and probably get jobs. Because, you know, they drug test and everything. They always drug testing people for jobs. And the only reason they do it in America is, yes, companies do place their own things, but because of the big dog, the big White House, and the FDA still says that it's illegal. It's Schedule 1 drug, so what can you do about it? What can you do about it? But when in Canada, it's going to be a whole nother story. And the government, the article I'm going to read, they say it's a test. Now they're going to see what's going to happen, just like they did in Colorado and in California. And everybody has their eye on Canada, eh? And they're going to see what's going to happen. They're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of things that I'm telling y'all about, that I'm really telling y'all about. A lot of people are going to be able to get jobs. That's what I left off at, because they drug test and everything. But if the government ain't pushing it for jobs to test people, more people are going to be able to get jobs and not have to run the streets and sell hard drugs or sell their bodies and stuff just to make money. They can actually, if they choose to, get a job and then work their way up from there. Like, legalization of cannabis affects millions of people, different kinds of people across the board. Because not just people that don't have jobs that smoke weed, it's millionaires that smoke cannabis. It's millionaires that smoke cannabis. And now they, for their mind and state of experience, they're able to relieve a lot of things. And then now they probably can be more open about their drug use, their marijuana use. And then hopefully this leads into further research into psilocybin containing mushroom research, and then dimethyltryptamine containing research, because these millionaires and people with no money are doing these things still, but they're not going to talk about it because of the stigmatism place. But we're going to start the conversation at all costs. I could have had that a little louder. I got the music playing. First joint of the day, and this is a hemp wrap. This is not tobacco. For those of y'all who worry about my lungs. But tote one for Canada, eh? Alright, let's get into this article. Well, actually, I got a video. My bad, guys. I actually have a whole video. But I had to get out my 50 cents. If y'all have anything y'all want to talk about during this chat, just throw it up. Ask me anything. But I'm gonna pause this. And I'm going to full screen this. Start to play. With sound. I had it buffer this whole time. There we go. There's something up with that video. I'm gonna come back to it, but that's a video that what do they do? That was released by the New York Times about the new revolution going on in Canada when it comes to legalization, because it's legal. It's just legal for those just tuning in. I just been saying this whole thing. Shout outs to Canada. But I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna get this video to play for us. And also I got an article from the New York Times, because you know they was up on this. And I do believe this is one of the first live stream videos to talk about this. So this is history too. Thanks for tuning into the Side Talk live stream. I'm gonna read some of this. What did it say? Yeah, it says it's an article by Dan. Well, I should have the same thing up on here, right? And I had this all figured out. But once this video, alright, looks like the video I'm gonna try to play.
It's a new era for Canadians. The full legalization of marijuana across the country. It's been legal to consume cannabis here for medical reasons since 2001. But now anyone in Canada over the legal age can get high. And that means Canada's booming weed business is about to get a whole lot bigger. We went to see some of the producers who are set to take advantage of this opportunity.
It's got kind of a citrusy and pine smell both at the same time. This is one of the Kushes. It's got more of a turpentine, maybe a little more earthy smell. This is a very popular strain for us. We call this Deep Purple, very fruity.
Warren Bravo was a co-founder of Green Relief, a medical marijuana company that is now well placed to enter the recreational space.
Yup, these people were
He's
setting
aiming to
up
increase
shop
production
before all of this.
over the next year and a half.
They knew it was going to be legal.
That's nothing compared to Canada's top marijuana producer, Tweed Inc., a brand of big-time operation canopy growth. One vault here can hold about $150 million worth of cannabis.
Yeah, so in this
$150 million worth in one vote. And they worried about the people in the streets.
And then about another 24 on the other side as well. Which is, at the end of the day, what all the fuss and excitement is about, I guess. When we reached out the first time, I think, the New York Stock Exchange probably, rightly said, no way, we're not having a cannabis company. And then that education process started, and we try to
Education.
and demonstrate we're a normal company creating a normal product like.
Oh, that buffer life. I don't know what's up with that video. But anyways, I believe what they was about to go into was how the big companies are already prepared for this shift. Ooh, swelling them up. The big companies are already for the shift in the legal records. So the stores was already set up for day one. But the thing about it is the same thing that hold on. Same thing that was happening in America. Is all the people that went to jail, the people that were doing all the protests, the people that were making all the videos and everything about how important it is to legalize cannabis, and all the small time growers, are they going to be cut out of the picture, and just all these big time companies going to be running everything, running the whole field, running the whole shabam? And now the people that were selling the marijuana and trying to get their name out there on the low level, are they just going to have to just stop what they doing and get a normal job, or come up with a whole nother career or something like that, just because somebody had more money and they let people run around and get their heads cut off, and then they came in during the aftermath and was like, all right, we're building these weed stores. We have $150 million just in this vote right here alone. Can you compare to that? That is what happens. That is what happens, bros. But fortunately, I believe that the people that work in these big companies, that there is, if you want to, I don't know, I believe if you have a heart for your business, nothing can ever take it away. Nothing can really take away your stake in anything. It's all about your heart and what you're willing to give into, and what fear you're willing to give into. Because you can, I don't know, I'm just tying right now. You could probably merge with that company or sell your product to that company, or I don't know, a lot of things are always possible. It's always infinite amounts of possibilities. We like to talk about all the good stuff and all the bad stuff on the side talk. So It's a lot of good things out there. Just tie, just tie, just tie. Just tie is when you combine your mind with your heart and you connect that circle and let it keep on spinning. You let whatever come out, just come out. Just let it all flow. Just let it all flow. But yeah, my heart is out there for everyone. My heart is out there for everyone that's in this business. But I want to get into real quickly or very slowly. I'll play that music back again. I want to play. I mean, not play. I'm going to read this article. It's by. Yo, stop. Oh, no, my computer is funny. Okay. It's by Dan Belisky. Wow. I got the same thing on here so I don't have to keep breaking my neck. Alright. But it was saying, part of it was saying Canada on Wednesday becomes the first major world, yeah, we know that, beginning a national experiment that will alter the country's social, cultural, and economic fabric and present the nation with its biggest policy change challenge in decades. And this is a New York Times article. It's up on there. I know y'all can't see it, so I'm gonna read it for y'all and keep the cool pictures up there. But it says across the country as government pot retailers opened from Newfoundland to British Columbia, jubilant Canadians waited for hours in line to buy the first state-approved joints. For many, it was a sentimental moment, akin to the ending of Prohibition in the United States in the 1930s. Because y'all know in the 1930s, Prohibition never worked. As many times as countries tried in different forms, all it does is create gangs. It literally created the mafia. What they talking about here in the 1930s was the prohibition of alcohol. They literally said, nobody's drinking, cutting out all the bars. So imagine that. Imagine that. Weed wasn't illegal just a couple years ago, but bars never was. Imagine all the people that drink, them not being able to drink. They formed, them people formed the mafia. And then it's like, we're going to supply the people with the alcohol on the ground. People started making moonshine and killing themselves and killing other people in the mafia in order to control product and wealth and money and everything. So, yes, Canada, please look out and see the differences that's going to be happening in your awesome country right now. They're not at war. They just legalized weed. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me scroll down. All right. It is unlikely. It was also an unlikely unifer coming at a time when Canada has been buffeted by bruising trade talks with the United States and has seen its Prime Minister Justin Trudeau repeatedly ridiculed by President Trump. Sorry, Canada. Canada is the second country in the world after Uruguay to legalize marijuana. Yeah, I forgot about that guy, that chubby guy. Like he cool. That whole country is legalized. So Canada's not the first, but it's an awesome step because everybody's looking at Canada now. Just like everybody was looking at Colorado and California and stuff like that. Eyes is on you. Now what you gonna do? All right. Yeah, this is some eyewitness stuff that they got. Let me get this advertisement away from right here. Get some people pictures up. Yeah, see, this them lining up outside of the bar. Marco, he's 29. He said, I've never felt so proud to be a Canadian. Canada is once again a progressive global leader. We have gay rights, feminism, abortion rights, and now we can smoke pot without worrying police are going to arrest us. This is what Marco was saying. Good times. Like I said, 2018, I feel awesome experience in these moments. The National Vibe. That's the name of the head shop there. The National Vibe. Shout out to y'all. Locally owned and operated. They got supplements, homeopathics, aromatherapy. I don't see weed on there. They ain't add that part yet. They ain't add the cannabis. They didn't add the cannabis right there yet. They're going to have to do that. I wonder which one they're gonna take down if they're gonna try to keep the symmetry up. They see it's 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Just tired. Yeah, the prom. They say how the minister Mike Fanworth. Yeah, British Columbia's prime minister. She was saying legalization of cannabis is the largest public policy shift this country has experienced in the last 5 decades. In 5 decades. So the hype is real. But he said it's an octopus with many tentacles, and there are many unknowns. He added, I don't think that's when the federal government decided to legalize marijuana. It thought through all of the implications. I know they did, including the money, taxes. In a stinging editorial published on Monday, the Canadian Medical Association Journal called the government's legalization plan an uncontrolled experiment in which the profits of cannabis producers and tax revenues are squarely pitched against the health of Canadians. What's up with y'all health? What's up with y'all health stuff right now? They not on board. They not looking at what's going on. But one thing I do have to say is that this is just a full-on, just tie real life, because I don't want you to harm yourself, talk about cannabis, is that it does act as a band-aid. It's not really a whole, it can be a whole replacer in the beginning, not whole replacer, but actually help your whole repair itself, like any kind of empty hole you feel. But after a while, be careful with abuse. Be careful with abuse, because then it will just act as a band-aid and never allowing, oh, this is a good one, never allowing the hole to have enough air to heal itself. Don't you like when you got a band-aid on top of a scar? If you keep the band-aid on too long, the scar never going to heal up. It's going to be too wet, too moisture and stuff, and it's going to take a longer time to actually heal. And that's with my case in the past with marijuana. Because I didn't have anyone around me that was really practicing it in safe, in ways that would benefit them. Because if once you start abusing something, the benefit level goes down, and the benefits that you attaching to it are only existent really to you. And when you look at the bigger picture, you probably spending way too much time sitting down or overthinking things. It can make you overthink. But that's when meditation and actually meditation and coming to a point where you're always aware, continuously aware of why you're doing certain things, so that you're able to choose the time you do certain things, and just know why you at it, why you living and stuff like that. Then you'll be able to participate in cannabis or psilocybin mushrooms or dimethyltryptamine. It's all about your personal level of awareness and self-discipline. All tied together. All tied. Just tie. But cannabis can be used as a band-aid. But as long as this is a group. This is why us Tai'ers, we have to continuously share ideas, because it's a whole bigger picture. Because nothing should be scared away. That's what scares away people from this all in the first place. Saying, oh, you're just going to smoke dope all day and you're not going to want to do nothing in life. But in actuality, it can propel you to be able to do those things, to live out those ideas that you have in your head. Because your body, your chemicals, your neurons, your flexibility is all geared now towards your will being manifested. Your true will, not the little will, not the little ego's will, but the true will that sees the big picture and knows that it's just playing this game. Again, shout outs to Canada. Alright, back to the article. If y'all just tuning in, this is a picture of one of the head shops, one of the first head shops that opened up in Canada. They was prepared. And this is talking about the laws. They got something about the laws that's actually, this is something under Canada's new federal cannabis act. Like, this is federally approved. Like, in the beginning I was saying how it's just the states in America. Here in Canada for us Americans, it's a country. It's not a state. It's a whole country. So their federal cannabis act says adults will be allowed to possess, carry, and share with other adults up to 30 grams of dried cannabis. I'm glad that they don't just say an ounce, because sometimes you can be walking around with a little more gram or two than an ounce, because you got good people. You got a good connect. You got good people looking out for you. And like, here. And then you get pulled over. They're like, well, I just got this. And it's 32 grams, 30 grams. They just gave me an extra. And then you get arrested. But I don't know. I just tired on why they actually put 30 and not 28 or 27 point blah, 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 which is really an ounce. They said enough to roll roughly 60 regular sized joints. Regular sized joints. That's relative. They will also be permitted a maximum of 4 homegrown marijuana plants per household in most provinces. So they can grow 4 plants in Canada. Cool. And if you learn how to top them so that they start branching out and have different shoots and not just grow them straight up, then you can get a pound or two off of playing off with an expert grower can. That's pretty neat. You know, compared to California and everything, you can grow up to 6 plants. But hey, man, step in the right direction. All right, yeah, they said no, it's not legal for kids to smoke. Are permitted under cannabis. Pre-rolled joints, fresh or dried marijuana flowers, and cannabis oil are permitted under the law. Cannabis edibles like pot-infused jelly beans, peanut butter, and coffee won't be legal for another year. Oh, whoa, that's a big drawback. That's something I'm glad I got out on the show. So the plants, all the plants and the extractions, the wax and everything, they're all legal. But when it comes to edibles, which I was saying is the high potency, which will really show you that this is a psychedelic, is not made legal for another year. So for those watching in Canada, watch out. Watch out with your edibles. It's not legal for another year. They gotta get on board with that a little faster though. Because some people are not able to ingest smoke because of their age, or because they probably have something going on with their lungs, or something where they're not able to ingest the high temperatures that come from smoking. Vaping is something else that you can go into, but then you got to pay hundreds of dollars for a vape and things like that. So that does for the medical patients and everything. Canada, please get on that a little faster, because not everyone can smoke cannabis. Some people need to eat it. But I believe if they're already doing it, they're going to keep doing it. But legalization leaves a huge imprint on our consciousness. And once it leaves not an imprint on our consciousness is what's creating this, but it leaves a huge imprint that we're able to, a huge stepping stone that we can now bounce even farther up towards space or heaven, whatever you want to say. One second. Oh, and this is, for those of y'all who love this cup like I do, this is the last day of the cup. I put some tea in there, and now it has a fracture that just opened up. So, last day, man. Shout out to the Blue Owl. Alright. Yep, and this was just... Yeah, on Wednesday, the government announced that it will introduce legalization to make it easier for Canadians who had been convicted of possessing small amounts of marijuana to obtain a pardon. That's what I'm all about. Getting the people that was just trying to smoke a little weed, smoke a little cannabis, trying to alleviate their depression, trying to alleviate their anxiety, trying to alleviate their PTSD, trying to deal with their life-threatening illness, trying to deal with being poor, trying to deal with everything. Shout outs to them getting a pardon. Shout outs to them getting a pardon because they were locked, they were in prison. Like, you can get years. You was able to get years for just probably having this right here. So legalization, for those who not hip to the game, is going to allow a lot of people to be able to be creative in this world and actually leave an imprint instead of working for pennies in the prison system and being set up and put up in the private prison system, which is all a marketing game, which I'm not even gonna get upset about right now. But y'all hear what I'm saying? Just tie. But I think they got another picture I can scroll down for y'all to get. There it is. Look at them happy people. Look at them happy. Like, oh, I got my marijuana. Okay. I'm so happy. I thought I had to give in to Trump so I can have legal marijuana. All right, let's keep going. All right, yeah, I read that part. According to Canada's National Statistic Office, 4.9 million Canadians used cannabis last year and consumed more than 20 grams of marijuana per person per year. 20 grams per year? That doesn't seem like a lot to me. 20 grams is not even an ounce. But hey, statistics is statistics. And they get them however they get them, man. As long as they trying to paint a good picture. But nah, that's bias, right? Alright, there we go. The federal government, I don't really understand what this means. I'm gonna see what they talking about. The federal government, turn this down, has left the country's 13 provinces and territories to carry out the new legislation and set their own rules, creating a patchwork of regulation. Among many open questions are how the police will test drivers who may be high and how employers deal with employees who smoke before coming to work. I'm gonna work backwards. With the employees that smoke to come to work, how I believe, what Captain Naga believes should happen is that it should be just like cigarettes. Just spray some cologne on or something, or some perfume, and you'll be okay. Because nobody likes stinky cigarettes, but still they're allowed federally to go on their breaks and smoke a cigarette and then come back and smell like a cigarette and not be punished by that. But yet they are courteous, they do freshen up and stuff. So let's just apply the same morality to cannabis. And let's go back up. Test drivers who may be high. I don't really have that much control over that, but I believe more tests have to be done on the level of high that you can be to actually drive. And that varies a lot too. But I don't know. A study statistic probably has to be done on how many crashes occur, and you can't even really test the marijuana was in a system because it's in people's system for 30 days and habitual smokers even more. So dang, that is a huge ploy. So they're leaving it up to the 13 provinces and territories to come up with their own rules when it comes down to this. Just to freshen up the Thai thoughts. But when it comes to testing drivers to see if they may be high, my word is just there has to be some level. And I believe it's just a high level too. On how stoned you have to be in order to drive before they take your car or give you a ticket or something like that. Cause that's a real iffy thing. All right, yeah, they just got talking about the doctors. Yeah, we was talking about that before about the risk of addiction and mental health issues if used by the wrong people, and that's why we on the side tile talk. And if you ever need Captain Naga or Ty, whatever you want to call me, if you ever need me personally, send me a message at justtynow@gmail.com or send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, whatever you have to do to reach out for me. I'm always there for any kind of calls. And or if you have a question or article that you would like me to go over during the live stream like now or during the Side Top podcast where I can really officially bring it up with the green screen and all, I will definitely get on that for y'all. I will definitely get on that. This one right now is about Canada legalizing marijuana. And I'm going to scroll down to another cool picture. Give me 1 second.
Give me a second.
All right. Sorry for that.
Let me just get one money for mommy.
All right. Sorry for that interruption. I just want to get finished this article and then remember if you have any questions right now, toss them my way. They got somebody, yeah, whatever. They know they got this doctor professor saying we don't want young people to feel stigmatized, for example, if they don't use cannabis. But I don't know. That's the pressure that we all go through when we're young. I didn't really go through it myself. So from my personal experience, which is what I can mostly talk to, I think it's a lot of scare that people really push your drugs on people. I believe the crowds that you hang around and stuff, if you hanging around certain people, that's because y'all have similar vibes and y'all already doing similar things. So that just comes with growing up, and that's why we need to start the conversation so that we can really have a general, like the things, the thoughts that we know about cannabis and stuff, even on the scale of how it cures cancer and everything and can help with PTSD. A lot of people still are not hip to this idea. So the conversation when it comes to psychedelics like psilocybin mushrooms and everything, it still has to be started with cannabis. Everybody thinks they know stuff that grew up in like the past and everything, but you'll be amazingly surprised. That's what happened with the Elon Musk when he took the hit with Joe Rogan during the podcast. They were drinking and everything the whole time. He took one hit, did not even inhale, and things was changing. Uproars were happening because this big tech guy was on camera smoking cannabis. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing to go out there and for you to start the conversation. And so that people won't be put under pressure, but know that the brain takes time to develop. And that really your brain is not fully developed until 25 years of age. All right. They're talking about how some illegal shops in both cities are hoping to get licenses. He added, let me start right here. Chief Constable Adam Palmer of the Vancouver Police Department, who is also the president of the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, said this week that at a time of limited resources, police and marijuana would not suddenly become law enforcement's primary concern. Fentanyl kills 11 Canadians a day, he said, referring to the powerful synthetic opiate that is a public health scourge in some cities like Vancouver. Marijuana does not. He added, I don't expect a big crackdown on day one. And that's from a police officer. And that's how that's going on in America as well. The opioid crisis. That's why this research must be done and share this video. If you don't have the words to say, just share this video. Watch this video with a friend, family, loved one, a stranger, anyone. And because, like you said, fentanyl in just Canada is killing Vancouver is killing 11 people a day. 11 people a day, bro. So so that just got me. But cause I grew up in the Philly. I grew up in Philly in the projects. So a lot of pill popping goes on the average daily. People used to walk up to me all the time. You want some blues? Like, you want to try some blues, you do blues, you want pills. It's a lot of cold names. See people like with their arms stuck in like this walking down the street because they did too much the day before. And all they trying to do is alleviate their depression, escape the reality and experiences that they're experiencing. When these cannabis and plant medicines like psilocybin containing mushrooms and everything, they need to be researched more, because as research is proven, studies is proven, as my personal experience is proven, this is going to be the next step in really changing and evolving our consciousness and relieving us from depression and warping our minds into a new level. But that's what I got today for y'all today. Thank y'all for watching, man. Shout outs to Canada. Shout outs to Canada for legalizing cannabis. Shout outs to all the patients. Shout outs to all the people out there that are able to experience cannabis freely and responsibly. But check us out on the YouTube, the Just Laugh Now show, the Side Top podcast, and previous live streams, the Just Tie Now show where I'm out in the woods, out in nature, or anywhere. I'm just going hard. If y'all have any ideas or ways I can improve the show, or if you want to be a guest on the show, contact me through these ways I keep saying, and we can all come together and create even bigger picture. But with that, guys, I'm gonna say we all tie. Do we really tie? Sometimes, I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Till next time, it's Captain Naga, aka Ty, X and U Tai'ers. The tie always. Adios.